Good afternoon, everybody. I'll let you all get logged in before we start doing anything exciting. As you know, this is just a Facebook demo. This is not multi-streamed onto YouTube today. This is just for Facebook. So I'll let you all get here first. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Sally. So I'm just flicking over so I can see both places. So Julia told me that on my app, it shows me where you're commenting from. Hi, Helen. Hi, Anne. So live comments are just coming through. There we go. Why am I not on YouTube? Because I'm doing it separate. So Bev's just asking me on the Sentimentally Yours page why I'm only doing it on Facebook and not YouTube. So I've got a new video going on YouTube in the morning, and I'm trying to separate the two now. So instead of multi-streaming to two places, because YouTube is always so far behind, it's really frustrating. So I'm sticking to either Facebook. Well, I'm trying it. Let's see what happens today. We'll see what happens today, whether it works or not. Hi, Mel. So I can actually see the comments from both pages, which is fabulous. I can't on the computer, but I can on my app, which is absolutely fabulous. So that's a little bit of a bonus. So I'll give you all a second to get logged in. You can see I've got all the card and everything ready. It's a fabulous demo today. You're going to love it. So I'm just getting a drink before we start. Oh, Tracy's saying good afternoon from a cold and wet air show. It's the same in Nottingham, I can tell you that much. Am I doing a craft along? Craft along. Susan's asking me if I'm doing a craft along. Do you mean a workshop, Susan? Let me just turn the subtitles off, because the subtitles drive me mad. I don't know why it puts them on automatically every time. Not a craft along. Susan, do you mean an online workshop? I am. The next online workshop is on the 18th of November. I think they've closed the bookings now, but you can have a look on the website. If you have a look on the website, and just go to the. In fact, let me try and find it for you before I start. It's probably easier. Workshops with Phill, online workshops. So just bear with me a second. Oh no, it's still open. So if you haven't booked on the online workshop yet, you can book on. So I'm just posting a little link for you on the Phill Martin page. So for anybody who is interested in doing an online workshop with me, I've just posted the link. I'm going to post it on the Sentimentally Yours page as well. And then you've all got the link. There we go. Job done. I have to stretch over to go and get my keyboard. Right, so is it raining and miserable where you are? Oh, I thought it might be. It's one of those days, I think. Hi, Pam. So hi to everybody who's joining. So I am getting the comments from both places, which is marvellous. It's only a woman that can do two things at once. Right, so let's get cracking on this demo. And I'm not going to run through everything that I'm using at the beginning like I used to do. I'm going to do it as we go along. So as I'm using things, I will bring them in and show you. I have put links in everything. I've put links for all the major things, all the main things that I'm using today in the description of the live. So whether you're watching on this Sentimentally Yours page or on the Phill Martin page, Ray in Hampshire's just reversed its hose pipe. Yeah, so whether you're watching, I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, whether you're watching on the Phill Martin page or on the Sentimentally Yours page, there is a link to all the main things that I'm using today in the description. It just makes it easier for you when if you're shopping along with me. You can go and then just pop things in your basket and then just check out at the end, hopefully. Right, so let's just show you what I'm talking about. There's quite a bit to do on this card, as you would expect, and there's quite a few layers. Surprise, surprise. In fact, I know you're not surprised. So let's just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. There's 12 layers on this card. 12 layers on this card, but it will fit in an A5 envelope, which is 5. So good afternoon to everybody I haven't spoken to already. There are too many of you coming in now for me to keep up. I can barely keep up myself. So let's see where we are. Oh, so that's nice. So I've got some people watching on Phill Martin and some people watching on Sentimentally Yours, which is fabulous. That's exactly what I wanted, and I'll probably do this more often. Yeah, just a few layers. Yeah, it probably, yeah, it'll go in a box, but it wouldn't go in an ordinary envelope. Right, so let's show you what I mean. So let's get cracking on this demo. There's quite a bit to do, like I say. So I have, remember as well, hi Sylvia, hello darling. Remember, I have got a new video going on the YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to build the numbers up, and there are plenty of videos on there that are only going on YouTube now. So I won't share them on Facebook. I'm trying to keep the two things separate so you get more content. I hate that phrase, content. More videos, more demos. So you get different demos on both places. So just click on the YouTube and then just click on subscribe when you get there. Right, so traditional easel is like this, yeah? So most of you will know that a traditional easel card looks like this. So we're just doing it in reverse. So this time it's going to open like a top fold instead of a bottom fold, and it's actually a really nice way of doing your cards. It looks quite glamorous when it's finished. So I'm just going to explain to you what this piece of card is that I've created my card blank from, because if you want to have a go, you can actually do this with any sized card blank, 8x8, 6x6, 7x5, whatever is your preferred card size. This will work, but this piece that I've got here is actually a piece of A3 card. So that is A3 in length, just chopped vertically down the middle. So it's a 14 and a half, I beg your pardon, 14 and a half by whatever the length of A3 is. Whatever the length of A3 is. So it's basically a sheet of A3 card chopped in half down the middle, long ways. And I'm folding it back on itself. So fold it in half, fold it back, and you created your reverse easel. It looks really glamorous. So I've got lots of layers to go on this because that's my thing. You wouldn't have to do this volume of layers. This is just what I like to do. You could absolutely miss half a dozen of these layers off. Yeah, you could absolutely knock half of these layers off, but this is me we're talking about. So this is me we're talking about, so you know there's going to be lots of layers. So let's just show you what I've got. So I've got a couple of debossed circles, which are what my sentiments are going to go on. These are the double debossed circles, and I've got them in one of these I don't need. It's that one I don't need. That's it. I've cut too many. I was obviously excited for the demo. So I've got 4 different sizes here. So the two largest ones are going to be on the top of the card, and the 2 smaller ones are going to be on the bottom. And I'm just going to show you, for those of you, I mean, I'm assuming most of you have these, but for those of you that haven't, there is a link to the double debossed in the description. But if you haven't got the double deboss circles yet, you know what I'm gonna say, you need to be pretty sharpish. It's an A4 size set of dies, so they do all the way from 8 by 8 all the way down to that 1 centimetre one in the middle, and they all have that gorgeous double deboss detailing on the edge. And I'm just going to give you a little heads up, everybody. There is going to be a new set of dies, hopefully at the end of February next year, that will work really rather fabulously with these double deboss circles. So I'm giving you a heads up. Yeah, get your double debossed because the new ones are going to work with it. So I've got those there, and then I've just created my layers, and we're going to start with the sentiments. So let me just put these in order because I need the 2 smaller ones, and I don't need anything from there just yet. So all that is getting put to one side until I need it. So we're creating, this is like I say, a multi-layered card, as you would expect. Oh, look at this, look, panic stations. We're getting to the lower end of the kitchen. No, don't worry, I've got about 6 more. Right by my feet, just in case. Just in case. Oh, hi Anne. What's the weather like in Australia, Anne? I bet it's better than it is here. Thank goodness for that. Only 20 layers, dies saying. We'll have to save you Christmas money. Well, we've got one more new release this year, beginning of December, and then that will be it. That will be it until the end of January. Look at that, a big long gap for you. Right, so what we're going to do on these panels here is use one of the rubber background stamps. And apologies, I did forget to put the link. In the description for the rubber background stamps. No, absolutely. Chris is just saying I wouldn't have had time to demo this on TV. And in actual fact, it is the one that I started last. And I didn't finish it, which is why I'm doing it again to show you, because it was just rushed at the end, so you didn't get to see anything. So this fabulous rubber stamp here was actually a limited edition that you could only get with a box kit a couple of years ago, but I do believe the stock that's left over is on the website. So this one is called Superstar Burst, and it's fabulous. It's really good for weddings, for birthdays, for Christmas cards. You can use it for, well, just about anything really. And we're going to stamp this in the background. And I've chosen 2 colours today. The embossing powder I'm using is one of my favourite colours. And those of you that will remember, when I first released these, the Summer Honey and the Blueberry Crush were the 2 that I used constantly. And Summer Honey is an absolutely gorgeous colour. Let me just show you, look at that colour, isn't that fabulous? So we're going to stamp this with, if I can get the lid back on, 2 choices we've got here. We could either go two-toned with Fossilized Amber and Wild Honey, or we could just go Wild Honey or just Fossilized Amber. I'm going to do two-toned, and then I'm going to do some embossing over the top of the Distress ink, just because we can. So remember, the rubber stamps are already foam mounted. You just need to pop them on a block and get started. So I'm going to do a little two-tone with random bits of the embossing powder. And this card would work in any colourway. It would look fabulous. So hi Janice, not to worry. If you're a pink girl or a blue boy, whatever colours, it would work perfectly for either. So this piece of card obviously is longer than my stamp, So I'm going to do it that way on twice. So that is the fossilized amber, and these colours are very similar, but it's nice to see that little bit of two-tone going on. That's what they look like, look. So wild honey is the top colour, and fossilized amber, the more yellowy colour, the more mustardy colour, is the bottom one. So let's just get this stamped. Oops. Well, that's not a good start. Where have I got that ink from? Let's turn it over. Is that on my finger? Possibly. But this is just a background. And it's going on both layers. Oh, look at that gorgeous stamp. I'll bring it in and show you properly in a second. So as always, when you're doing two-tone, do your lightest colour first, and then your darker colour. And I'll just pop that to one side. In fact, Bev, if you're still watching, will you just do me a favour, please, and get a link? Get me a link for the rubber background stamps off the website so people can go and have a look. I think there's about 15 there, and I only really do rubber ones occasionally, and that's because sometimes when you've got fine lines and really tiny details, it comes out better in rubber. And then obviously you can also I'm going to do it that way. You can also push the rubber stamps into UT and ultra thick embossing enamel, etc., which you can't really do safely with the acrylic stamps, the photopolymer stamps. What a lovely background. Oh shit, oh you're too quick for me. Thanks, Chrissy. I'm trying to keep up with your comments. So pop on and have a look. I mean, you know, the superfine crackled and the vinery, they're stamps that I use a lot. So let's just do the bottom half of this. You can see this, can't you, working for like fireworky. It's almost like fireworks. So we've got the colour there, but I am going to put some embossing powder over the top. Not everywhere, just in certain areas. That is the rubber off the stamp that you can hear squeaking. It's not me. Just to be clear. So let's pop that to one side. She is on the ball, our Beth. Right, so now let's get some embossing powder on, and then you will see some of it will dry glossy with the, let's just show you that. Look, you can see it's still isn't that fabulous, that stamp? You can also see this stamped over the middle of your flowers. That would look good. So let's get some summer honey on here. And I'm not going everywhere. Oops, I'm just doing bits. So we're getting this lovely two-tone effect. You probably can't tell the difference too much with the two different shades of ink, but I can absolutely see it here. Let's just do a bit down here as well. I love this colour. Absolutely love the summer honey. It's not very summery today, I know, but and then we'll just do the other piece as well. Remember, the oxides stay stay wet long enough for you to do this. I'm just trying to do the bits that I know you're going to see, because you're not going to see all of this once the circles are on top. So you can see where I've got the powder, look, and now I'm just going to heat that up. So we're starting from the back, and then we're going to do the flowers. And then the flowers can be drying whilst I know, I hate the fireworks. I know. Right, so let's get the heat gun plugged in. Now I've found it. I found one of them. And I'm going to heat this from underneath. I'm sorry, I've just turned it towards me so I can see it melting. He says, there we go. Have I missed any bits? I'm just working my way around the stand. I think that's all of it. That's it. So what we've got now, look, is like 3 tones of mustardy orange colours on here. So if I bring that in and let you see, oh, that's a really good example, look. So you can see we've got the wild honey there. We've got the fossilized amber there, and then we've got the summer honey embossing powder. So we've kind of got a trio of colours on there, and it looks fabulous. Whatever colours you like to do, that would just look amazing. And I'm just going to wipe off any excess embossing powder. That's job done. Just use a tumble dryer sheet or a dried up wipe for that. Right, so now we're going to move on to the... Oh, no, we're not. We're going to do the flowers. It is a fabulous stamp, Jean. I absolutely love that. Just arrived but not open yet. Looks like a nice red. Melissa's going to try it. And that's saying it's trucking it down with rain there, so hopefully the fireworks will be a washout for a while. I know. Pam's saying, what does everybody think about the new Distress Oxide colour? I absolutely love it, Pam. Absolutely love it. It's a proper scarlet red, so if you've ever struggled to find a lovely Christmas red, the new Oxide is amazing for it. I'm just scrolling back through some of the some of the comments. That's it. I mean, really, fireworks should only be, it's different now, and fireworks should only really be at organised events. Right, so we're going to concentrate on the flowers now. So I've already shaped these, glittered them in the centre, and got the gem in, because we're going to ink these in a slightly different way to what we've done before, and it's a really funky effect that you get, and I can't believe I haven't shown you this before, because I thought I'd shown you every which way there was to colour in flowers, but clearly not. I missed one. So the flowers that I'm using today are the Shabby Blooms, and the Shabby Blooms are just fabulous. Look, they look like cornflowers. If you shape them nicely, they look like cornflowers. And I've pointed mine. I've saved one so that I can show you how to do it. So the Shabby Blooms is the one of the Shabby range. It's got 9 dies in it, comes on the magnetic sheet, and as you would expect, you've got all that lovely deboss detail going on in there. Tracy's saying she's just started to collect distress oxides, must-haves, faded jeans, bundled sage. Oh my god, you can't ask me that, all of them. Is there 15 on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Actually, that's not right, Michelle, because I've got one here to show you how to shape it. So there are 16. So the Shabby Blooms, remember everybody, the Shabby collection is not being restocked. So if you've been collecting the Shabby flowers and you haven't got the blooms yet, start getting them before they've gone, because I'm not restocking the Shabbies. I've done it twice already. So one of the things I love about these, if you look, these have all been peaked. So I've nipped them, I've pinched them at the edges, look, and it gives you a different effect. I love flower dyes, you know I do, and I love flower dyes that give you a different look. So you wouldn't think that came from that shape, which I just think is amazing. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me just get a drink. So with your fine pointy tweezers, I mean, most of you know that I use my flat nose ones constantly, but you do need the fine point ones for this. So you've got the fine point tweezers for this, and I'm literally pointing these upwards. So I'm holding in the middle, look, and just pointing each petal up, each frond, and it changes the look drastically. But this is why I love flower dyes that do more than one job. It looks like one of those tubular cornflower type flowers. And obviously the deboss lines, oops, come on camera, there you go. The deboss lines in these help as well. Yeah, these go perfectly with any of my daisies. In fact, they go perfectly with the Shabby Blossoms as well. This is why I do collections. I usually release 4 flower dyes at the same time that all work together. So literally, look, I've just pinched these at the tip, and then we're going to glue that together. So I've not shaped it yet. It's just going to go straight into the middle, like so. I mean, what a difference, look. And then on your shaping mat, I'm not going to bring it in because I've got all my leaves and everything on. In fact, I will. I'll just fetch it in so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just on my little foam mat, look, and now I'm pushing up at the centre, and that's what gives you all that lovely dimension. And then the gems that I've used on here are actually the Aurora. So this is the Aurora Crystal Gemporium gems, and these are the ones that have the Aurora effect. So you've got the multifaceted. Well, that one's gone for good. That one's gone for good. So on the Auroras, look, you've got the multifaceted, so you hit the light at lots of different angles, which is why these are a bit posher than the basic gems. And you've got that fabulous colour in there as well. So Diamond Dazzle. We're doing the flowers now so that we can pop them to one side. So Diamond Dazzle, excess glue in the middle. So I've put quite a lot of glue in the middle for the gem look. And then pick up the gem and then push that down. And when you put excess glue in there, more glue than you need, what you end up with, look, is that lovely glittery ring. And who doesn't love a glittery ring? So let's put that down and then get some glitter on there. I'm going to leave that one till last to give it a chance to dry. Hi Kaz, how are you, darling? So now we're going to start colouring these flowers. So slightly different, and I think I'm going to go with the wild honey because it's a little bit more orangey and smoothie. And we're going to ink the edges of these petals. Hi Julia, not to worry, didn't realise the time. I gave you a reminder at 1:45 as well. Do you post to Dublin Island? I normally get mine from Crate & Craft. I'm sure they do, Lynn. I'm sure they do, Lynn. Just send my sister a message on the Honeypot Crafts Facebook page. Just send her a message and check, but I'm absolutely sure they do, Lynn. Yeah. In fact, I don't know whether Karen's been doing a workshop today, so I don't know whether she's watching still. But I'm absolutely positive they will post to you. We post to Australia, so I'm sure we can manage Dublin. So what we've got now is the flowers. And I'm going to ink. In fact, let me get a bit of Kitcher on and see if I can do this quicker. See if we can do this more quickly. So I'm going to be really, really heavy with the wild honey. And I'm just going along the edges, look. And it actually looks fabulous, just like this. So I'm putting loads and loads of ink on the tips of these, and I'm going to bring this in to show you, because if you don't like grungy looking flowers, you could absolutely stop at this stage because it looks beautiful as it is. Doesn't that look fabulous just as it is? Isn't that lovely? But I'm going to do them all. I know I'm squashing them back, but don't worry, we can fix that. We can fix that when they go on the card. Got to do this now because they need time to dry before while we're putting the rest of the things together. So I'm literally just inking the edges of these flowers. And I've not done any ahead of time because it's easier for me to teach you live rather than doing most of it and then just showing you bits. So this is all after the glitter and the gems have gone on. So the flowers have been put together. And what we're going to get is a lovely, lovely watery effect going down to the center of the flower. So there are 16 flowers on this card. I might not use them all. No, that's a lie. I will use them all. You know I will. So I'm doing this on the kitchen roll just to take the excess off. Working my way around all the flowers. And this works best with the Distress Oxides rather than any of the versifying clays, because we want the water, we want them to react with the water that we're going to use in a second. This is why you have to do the shaping first. Oops. So what happens is the ink doesn't go all the way over the edge of the petals. It's just literally doing the tips, which is what, oh, apart from that one, which is what we want. It's a shame I'm going to put the water on, really, because we could have left them as they are, but I'm not. We are definitely having watery flowers. Oh, that's it. That weren't too bad, was it? But let's do the butterfly while we're here. I've got two of the Shabby butterflies here. I'll just put some ink down the middle and we'll do it all in one go. That's the only problem with the oxides. Let me just get that ink off my finger, or as much as I can. Right, so that's what we've got now. All our flowers are inked on the tips, and because I did the pinching before, can you see that it doesn't cover the whole frond? And that's exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to pop these in my inky box. So everything's going in the inky box. Doesn't matter that we've glittered already, because the colour will drip down into the glitter. And we're going to do two things to these flowers. We're going to spritz them with water. And the butterflies. And you know the Shabby butterflies are beautiful. Is that them all? Yeah. So now I'm just going to take my water spritzer. I'm standing up to do this. And I'm just going to spritz them with water. Oops. So quite a lot of water. I'm just going to see if I can bring this closer for you to see what's happening. So can you see, look, the water has pooled. It's all floated down and pooled, and it's dragged the colour down. It's dragged the colour down as well. So we're going to leave those now as long as I possibly can. I'm just going to put a bit more on the butterflies. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it. Remember, this dries softer as well. So we're going to pop these to one side now and leave these to dry as long as we can. I just dropped one. So we can leave those now and not think about those until the end, when we start putting the card together. Will the flowers still be honey, or will they be blue? No, they'll still come out honey. Right, so now let's move on to the next part. I better get a drink first. So now we're going to do the sentiments. So we've got two sets of circles here with the debossed circle dies. And I'm trying to show you how fabulous. Oh, thanks, Janice. Phil, do you prefer to use the oxides as opposed to the distress inks? I do, Trude. I do prefer the ox. In fact, if I'm honest with you, I haven't touched my distress inks at all since the oxides came out. I just haven't used them. I think the colours, I prefer the colours from the oxides. I remember the oxides react to water as opposed to just diluting with water. Right, so now we're going to do the sentiment. So I'll quickly run through the new collection with you. So let's start at the top and work our way down. I should have put these in order first. So it was the quickest sellout ever on Create and Craft the other day. Literally in less than 10 minutes my stock had gone, and the excess stock that I gave them had gone as well. In 10 minutes it was just so busy. So thank you, everybody. I do know that I don't think we have any of the essentials available in the individual. So the essentials, which is the one you can see now with the happy birthday and everything on, individually they have all gone. You can only get these now as part of the bundle on our website. There's no more stock on TV. They don't have any. So you can only get the bundle from me. So I would urge you, if you can afford it, to treat yourself to the bundle, which is what I'm going to show you now. If by any miracle there are any of the essentials left by next Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't think they are, but if they find any next Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll let you know on Facebook. But I would urge you to get them from the bundle, and then you know that you've got everything, and then you know you've got everything that was released the other day, because there won't be any more stock. So the essentials, which I'm not using today, the occasional, they are from the bundle, like I say. The occasional is also part of the bundle. The motivational, so the one that says take care, I'm going to turn it over so you can see it better. They are, look. So I've called them motivational, but they're not. They're just really nice words. So they're all part of the bundle. These are still part of the bundle, which I'm going to be using in a second. And I can't tell you how much I love the shabby borders. If you haven't got the shabby borders and corners, please treat yourself, because you're going to absolutely love them if you can. So you've got all these beautiful swirling foliage just on the slightly grungy side. You've got 7 fabulous borders in there as well, with all that detail. Let me show you. I'm using those today, so I'll leave them to one side. So although they are borders, I'm using them to decorate the top and bottom of my sentiment. And then you've got the corners to match. They're absolutely stunning. No, Julia's got no stock either. I know she hasn't. So you've got a corner. Turn it over because they are bigger than they look on the pictures. So you've got a corner to match every border. And then you've got all these fabulous little worker stamps. Now remember, Julia did a fabulous demo the other day using these little worker stamps. She created a stunning background. If you're in our Facebook group, you'll be able to get on the Facebook group and have a look at the card that Julia did. It was amazing, amazing. So that is the corners. So at the bundle, you're going to get all 5 of these as the bundle on our website. And you've still got the discount. Now, the discount will be removed tomorrow. Oh, no, well, Monday, sorry. I'm thinking it's Sunday today. So Monday morning, the discount will be removed. And they'll be back up to full price. So now is the time to do it. So I keep the borders, keep the corners, because I'm using those. And then the other 2 that are not part of the bundle, These were not available on TV, and I am using the milestone birthdays today. So the milestone birthdays, it's basically numbers, but numbers where you can actually create birthday sentiments from them. So you can do on your 25th birthday, or it's your 40th birthday today, etc, etc, in any landscape or portrait way you like. I am using those. And then you've got the milestone anniversaries that everybody was asking me for. So the milestone anniversaries is the one that gives you on your, it's our, on our today, happy anniversary, and years. So that years one look you would use with the small numbers. And on the back I've given you a little handy guide that tells you which anniversary for which year. I think this is a really useful set. And look how good I'm giving that to you as well. It's on the back of the packaging. But we're using the numbers today. So this is why I created this collection of stamps, because there's just such a lot you can do with it. So we're going to start at the top. So this is the topper for the top of the card. And I am going to do this on my platform because it's easier. And it's just, and if you're watching, it's the same bit of kitchen roll. And we're using that summer honey embossing powder. But I'm going to do the same again. Actually, no, I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not. I'm going to stamp it with the fossilized amber. I'm going to stamp it with the fossilized amber. And then summer honey embossing powder over the top of it. So this is one of the biggest tips I can give you. This is one of the biggest tips I can give you if you struggle with embossing powders. Try and find a coloured ink pad that's not too dissimilar. And if you stamp in the colour, in the coloured ink, and then emboss over the top, it doesn't matter then if you miss little bits. It will still look amazing. So we're going to take this numbers set here and we're going to put it's your birthday today. Yeah. So we're going to stamp it's your birthday today, and we can do that because we've got all the individual stamps to do that. So let's take it's your, I'm not putting any numbers in, we're just creating a sentiment. It's your birthday today. So another little tip for you, everybody. Look at it, I'm full of it today. Full of tips today. Noticed on you noticed the kitchen roller. I'm just flicking over to see what you're saying on the Film Arted page. Yeah, they are fabulous. So, little tip, when you're doing more than one sentiment, so this is 3 separate stamps, so put your middle one in first. I'm just going to make sure that's straight. So I've put the birthday in first, look, which is the middle sentiment. Yeah. And then I'm going to put it's your, let's move that out of the way. It's your. Oh, it's your birthday happy. It's a good job I spotted that. It's your birthday happy. So it's your birthday today. And now I can position these exactly where I want them. I think that looks pretty spot on. This is why I love the milestone birthdays. If I'd got a strip of card, we could do so many different combinations just from the scraps of card. So let's pick those up. I can't tell you how much you're going to use this. So even though it's birthday, you know you can use it for your anniversaries. You can use it for just about anything. So I will stamp in, I'm going to be a rebel, and I'm going to stamp in the Fossilized Amber. I still use my anti-static bag. And I'm going to go in twice. Actually, I don't need to go in. Oh yeah, well, I'll go in twice. I didn't need to go in twice, it's just because I'm going to miss some bits. Look how fabulous that looks. Apart from I've got a bit of glitter on the Y and I can see it. That is the only problem with Diamond Dazzle, look, when you use as much as I do. I got a little bit of glitter, look, can you see it? On the Y. So I'll make sure I use the embossing powder on the Y. So now we're going to give this a two-tone look. Instead of using two different coloured embossing powders, we're using a coloured ink and the Summer Honey embossing powder. So I'm going to cover that Y up. Oops, so I'm not doing it all, I'm just doing bits. Let's do a bit of the B. So you can see where I've got the powder, look. Isn't that just, it's a gorgeous font as well. So I'm not going to heat that up just yet. We're going to do the bottom part. Remember, this is all from the Milestone birthday set. I don't know how much stock is left because I haven't checked. But if it's anything like the others, I know that it's been busy. So put these back where they belong. It's your birthday today. And now we're coming to the bottom part of the card. So this is what will become our stopper. So the bottom part of the card is going to be our little stopper, because you still need one. Even though it's a reverse easel, you still need a stopper to catch, to prop it up, to hold it up. So let's just hold that in place. And we're going to have, shall we be kind and shall we do 25 today or 30 today? Or I'm trying to think of a number. Let's have a look. Let's just have, let's have 30th. Just because we can. And obviously, let me show you, you've got 3 different size numbers in here. But I'm just gonna, yeah, let's do the big one. Let's do the big one. So 3, 0, and 30th. So we're going to do a 30th. And this is why I love these. You're going to be able to use them for just about everybody. So move that across a little bit so we can get the N. I remember the tip I gave you last weekend about moving the stamps. Use your little wax tool because they don't stick to your wax tool. I'm going to move across a bit. That's it. Actually, that's bugging me, so I'm changing that because I want the numbers central, otherwise it will annoy me. So I'm gonna move from the largest to the second size, the middle size, and I'll stamp it separately. And we'll do exactly the same thing. So fossilized amber. So fossilized amber twice. And the only reason I do this twice is because there's a bit of glitter on the 3. The glitter's not being kind to me today. That's it, I've got it. You can always tell when you've got a bit of diamond dazzle on your stamp, look. Yeah, so the only reason I'm going in twice is because you get the depth of colour. Oh, look at that. That just looks awesome. You're just going to use these constantly. You can now add any age, and the font is just fabulous. Look at that beautiful font. And I know I'm banging on about it, but I absolutely love them. Even if somebody moaned and said my 4 looked like a 2, but it's a fancy 4. And then we're going to use the smaller TH, and I can get that in position now, look, because I haven't got the other stamp. And it needed to be in the right place, which is why I've done it separately. So same thing again. The Oxide should still be wet enough to emboss over. Oh, that's just lovely. Look at that fabulous font. Look at that. Isn't that just lovely? I love it. And I wish it was the 30th, but it's not 30th for me. Or my sister. Or my brother. So let's get the embossing powder on here. No, the numbers won't be on CNC. The numbers and the anniversary won't be on Create and Craft. You can only get them from me or Julia. I don't know whether Julia's even got any left. Where's the paper for my embossing powder? Oh, there you are. Yeah, the limited edition, you can only get them from me. So let's get a little bit of powder on here. It will start to come together now. It has started to dry a bit, which is unfortunate, but we should still get a little bit. Yeah, that should do. I love these colours anyway. I mean, most of you that know me know I love oranges and ambers and those kind of colours anyway. So let's get these heated up. A little bit of diamond dazzle on that stamp. So Sorry, I've just got to turn it to me while I do this. But let's just do it from above to save a bit of time. I'm just doing it from above. I don't normally, as you know. That looks really, really pretty. You wouldn't be able to get that texture without the embossing powder. Let's just show you that close up now. Aren't those colours just stunning together? And I managed to get a bit on the 30th, but only a bit because it had started to dry. Okay, so now let's just ink around the edge of that, and I'm going with the wild honey for this. I might not need any more on here. So the top circle is wild honey, and the layer for underneath will be fossilized amber. So wild honey. Are they out of stock? Yeah, they should still be in stock on the website. Oops. And then the larger circle that is going underneath these is fossilized amber. They're a really close colour, the fossilized amber and the wild honey, but they look beautiful together. And then we'll just have a quick look to see how the doodahs are doing. The doodahs being flowers. So we'll just pop them there for a second. Just let that dry for a second, and then we're going to embellish these further. We're going to use the borders on there. Oh my word, look how beautiful these look. Aren't they just stunning? They're still a little bit damp, and we've still got something else to do to them. So now we're going to embellish these even further using the borders. So when I was planning this card, because believe it or not, I did plan. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to do it with an acrylic block. I'm going to go for it. Let me just get my border block. Yeah, they were fabulous. Just getting a border block. So border block, I'm just going to use the border block just to see if it's easier. Back to the kitchen roll, and now we're on borders. So when I was doing these borders, I've made sure you've got like lots of different styles. So although they look similar, they're not. They're all very, very different. And I can't decide which one to use. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. I think that one looks nice. I imagine that one does as well. Oh, decisions. I'm going to go with this one. So you can see what I'm doing. We're just going to embellish the edges of this. And that is exactly the idea I had with the borders. Because they are just like embellishment stamps. I'm going to change that kitchen roll because that's covered in Diamond Dazzle and it'll just get stuck to my stamps. So here we go. And I'm going, oh, that's from the wipe. So I'm literally just going to go sideways and embellish the sides of this look. And we'll do the honey. And these are brilliant if you're not a confident stamper because it doesn't matter. They're meant to be grungy-ish. Oh yeah, that's just lovely. That's just lovely. And obviously we've got the debossed edge on these dies, so oh look at that. Doesn't that just look fabulous? So although I've called them borders, don't think of them as just borders because they're absolutely not just borders. So we've done the sides of the topper and we're going to do the bottom of the number, the stopper. Just see how much I can get on without it interfering with the number. I don't want to interfere with the number too much. I'm going to do the other sides because that looks a bit too simple. Because we can look. Yeah, that just looks beautiful. Look what we've done, look. We've now taken a regular circle and absolutely made it look fancy. Aren't they just beautiful? Right, so that is the borders. We've still got a little bit of stamping to do. And I'm going to have to clean these properly because there's Diamond Dazzle all over them. I can see it. My fingers are orange. It looks like I've been on 80 a day. So we're done with the borders now. So I've literally used the borders to embellish my toppers, not as borders, and that is why I love them. They're not just borders. All of these, look, have elements within them that you can use on the outside. They all have lots of different flourishes and things. And now we're going to move to the corners. So back to my layers. So these are the layers for the card. They're going to go on there. And these two smaller ones are going to have corners on. How long have we been? Yeah, we're about half an hour away. So I'm not sticking those on just yet. These I am going to do on the platform. And I'm going to do something you've never seen me do before. I'm taking the kitchen roll off. Don't panic, it's going back on. And I'm actually using the foam mat. Shocking. So because I'm doing corners, on the top part of this card. So this is going to be on the top. I want the bottom, the top left and the bottom right corners. So I'm literally going to put the corner stamp on, and I can find now the one that matches the one that matches that border. So if I just bring that in, look, if I just bring that in, it's still wet, so I'm trying not to put my finger in it. This is the corner that matches that. You can tell by the little swirls. And this is the reason why I've changed onto my platform, because I can just put it in the corner, look. Just make sure it's straight. Actually, it doesn't really matter because they're very forgiving, these corners. I'm not going to emboss this. I'm just literally going to do this with the ink. I can't remember the last time I used my platform without a bit of kitchen roll on. So I'm just doing Fossilized Amber. No, I'm not. I'm doing the Wild Honey, because the Wild Honey matches what I've done on the toppers. And I kind of like doing the embossing just on the sentiment because it makes it stand out more. Oh, that just looks amazing. That looks amazing. And now I can turn it round, you see. Get rid of the glitter. And just stamp that again. So then I will have top left, bottom right on the top. Could obviously do all four, but I don't want all four. I'm sorry, I've not looked at any of the comments for a while because I'm carried away in my crafting. Oh, Patricia hates Facebook. Oh, bless you. Do you not get notifications, Patricia? So top left, bottom right. And I do need to clean the stamp now, because we're going to move it. And now we're doing top right, bottom left. This is why we only needed one corner for each design, because you can just flip it around. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there that has to be the right way up. It just makes the job easier for you. And the same again. This is why I love coordinating stamps. And then flip that over and do the last one. How absolutely fabulous are these corners? Remember as well, these look completely different if you heat emboss them. So if you've got my gold or silver embossing powder, they look really, really snazzy in metallic colours. Oh, that's just beautiful. So we've now got top left, bottom right. Yeah, precise cornerage. Let me just show you the detail in it, look. Come on, camera. There you go. Do you see what I mean about them just being on the right side of grungy? That actually looks really, really pretty. And clean the stamp. Clean the stamp and put it back. And I've literally used one of 8 corners. There are 8 corners in that set. That's just amazing. So you could replicate that in 8 different colours in 8 different corners. So here we go. So I'll let those dry for a second. Come on, you old faithful bit of kitchen roll. The same bit of kitchen roll has gone back on my platform. Right, so now we've got another job to do. We've got another job to do to the flowers and the butterflies. They're not dry. They're still damp. Oh, I forgot to put the glitter on that. Oh, I forgot the glitter on that one, which is really going to annoy me. We're going to do some splats now in the same colour. So the wild honey, I'm just trying to do it all in one go. What do you use to clean your stamps, please? I use water wipes. They're what I use. And I leave them to dry as long as leave them to dry and try and use them as much as I possibly can. So a little bit of water. That might not be enough water, Phil. And I am going to take my splatter brush for this. Oops, sorry, I've just banged the camera, everybody. Knocking you dizzy. And we're just going to splat these flowers. So you have to wait till these have dried a little bit. So I didn't want them to be bone dry. I just wanted them to dry a little bit. I don't know why I'm doing it here because I can't actually see what I'm doing. Let me stand up. That's better. Might have to do a little bit more. Bear with. It'll all be worth it in the end. Details. Look after the details. That's better. And the card will look after itself. Just trying to get a bit on the bits that are not there. Just some of the smaller ones I've not hit yet. I'm going to do it again. So if you leave the card till it's damp but not dry, this colour won't dissipate. It won't get lost. It won't get lost in the background colour of the flower, the underlying colour. That's better. That's more like it. I can't see what you're saying just yet, but I will look when I get a chance. There we go, that's plenty. And that's the effect, look. So I can now leave these to set. to dry while we get on with the layering. Oh, I've loved making this card. It's absolutely my cup of tea. Lots of flowers, lots of splats, lots of inky. My favourite things. Right, here we go. So the other two layers for the card, a lot of ink in those distress oxides. We get a drink. Let me just catch up with everybody. Oh, I don't know why, Patricia, that's really strange. Why do you use kitchen roll in your stamping platform? Anne's asking me. Just to keep it clean, Anne. Just to keep it clean. So, you know, like if you're stamping off the edge of the page, I don't like to get my little platform dirty when there's no need to. You don't have to, it's just me. It's just me being quirky. Right, so these are the bottom layers that these are going to stick onto. And because this is actually going onto the card, I'm going to ink this layer rather than this one. Well, actually, shall I change my mind? Shall I change my mind and do it the other way? No, we are inking these layers. And I'm doing two-tone. So I'm doing some bits in Fossilized Amber. And some bits in Wild Honey. And they will both match. You'll notice I'm not doing none of this, I just like to tap it on the edge. I think you get a softer inky edge from doing that. So that is that's the Fossilized Amber, sorry. And then we'll fill in the gaps with the Wild Honey. And I know it's really difficult for you to see the differences in colour on screen, but they are quite obvious when it's in front of you. The Wild Honey has obviously got an orange undertone, and it matches really well with the Summer Honey embossing powder. Here we go, nearly done. The only problem with the Distress Oxides is, well, it's a bonus really, because they stay wet long enough for you to put embossing powders over the top. But then sometimes you want them to dry quicker. So I'll leave those to dry for a second. Oops. I'll try and get some of this ink off my hand. Shampoo is the best thing, or Imperial Leather apparently. To get the ink off. Oh, dry it out and cut it up for flowers. Why don't you tuck the box flap inside? Do you know what, Anne? I should really just chop the box flap off, because it's just a pain in the neck. So pop these to one side and let them dry for a second. The longer I can leave them, the better. And we'll come to our little toppers. So these are now going to be 3D'd. And this is that manky foam tape. It is going to be glittered around the edge. Ah, come on. That's for that. I've got to, this foam tape is doing my head in, but I've got to use it because I've got loads of it. It's one that I can't tear. And it drives me mad. Is it still raining? It's just drizzly and overcast here. So just layering these up. Where's my pokey tool? In fact, I'm going to take these flowers out of here and put them somewhere else to dry. Just bear with me a second, everybody. I'm just moving the flowers so that they're not sitting on wet kitchen roll. Come on. Better. I've just moved the flowers so they're not sitting on damp kitchen roll. It just helps them to dry a bit quicker. Oh, look at this awful stuff. I've got to use it because I've got too much of it. But it's bloody awful. And that is so clingy. So no glue on these. I want these to be flat, so no glue. Kind of lovely that looks just as a topper. Put it in the shop, Mr. M. Yeah, get rid of it. Put it in the shop and get rid of it. Oh, it's a good job, I don't swear. Isn't that right, Kaz? It's not so bad when you're on bigger pieces. It's only the little fiddly parts that it drives me mad. And this is why I love circles on a card, because they've just made the most fabulous toppers. Don't they just look fabulous? Right, so foam tape again, I'm afraid. But I'll try and be quick with it. I'm not going to rush and spoil the card, but most of you will know that normally I go all the way around the outside. On circles, I usually go all the way around the outside with foam tape and then a bit in the middle. But this stuff is so awful, I'm not. Oh, what have I missed, Hope? I hope you'll be able to watch it, but oh, you've missed it. Oh, because of the time difference. Oh, I'll do a recap, Hope. I'm sorry. Would it be better for you if I did it at 2 o'clock? It's just that we're all so used to doing it at 1 o'clock now. And it also means I have enough time after the live to get on with other jobs. Oh, bloody foam tape. Right, so I'll put them to one side. And let's get these layers put together. So you can see how this is all starting to come together. So normally I would put these on foam tape, but I'm absolutely not doing that today. Back to a 5-hour time difference. If we beg enough, could you do a balloon die? A balloon die. I've just finished a whole load of new dies for next year. That's why I've been quiet on Facebook, because I've been busy. Deadlines. I'd have to think about that, Anne, because I don't know how I would use a balloon in my style of crafting. So I would have to think about that. Well, you've got people wanting one. It would have to be something very special for me to do a balloon. But I'll write it in my book. Oh, Chris is saying it's a good idea. I'll write it in my book. I always welcome your ideas. I love you to be part of it. And I've got my lovely big notebook that I write everything in that you all suggest to me. So you never know. You never know. Just the word memories. 1 PM there is 9 PM in Australia. Oh, bless you, Jackie. Well, yeah, but at least you're spending your evening with me, Jackie. Right, so let's get this card put together. So remember when I was telling you about how I'm going to put this together with the corners? So I know on the topper that my flowers are going to be bottom left, top right, as usual, which is why I've saved the corners for the top left, bottom right. So that is the piece for the top layer. This is now going on the bottom. And the only reason I've got 2 layers, as you know, is because I like to glitter the top piece. So this is going in flat in the bottom. And you'll see this card start to come together now, and it'll look amazing. I can tell you that now, even if I say so myself. So that is the bottom, and this piece for the top is going on foam tape. I know, I can't believe I'm doing it, but it needs it. Do a one to match some of the previous stamps. Oh, now there's an idea. Oops. Sharon's just, so you might have to thank Sharon for that idea, because that means it's a balloon but not a balloon, if that makes sense. I will bear that in mind, and I've just seen that that's kinked my card up and I can't get it off. Oh, that's gonna, oh, there we go. That's better. Naughty foam tape. Nobody wants a naughty foam tape. what's on the telly tonight. Nothing that I'll be watching, I'm sure. Right, so we're starting to put this together. I'm just going to open this out because I know that that will still be a little bit damp. So this is now going, this is the top of the card. Remember, it's still an easel. It's just done in reverse. I've had a fabulous idea for a little thing I can do for you lot before Christmas. But I will let you know once I've done it. So I've just opened the card to do this top layer. So you can see now where we're going, look. So obviously it's still an easel, but we've got the top part folded back and it still fits into an A5 envelope, sort of. So layers. Forgot these, sorry everybody. I'll just use the ink that's on them. I don't watch Strictly, Chrissy. I got bored with Strictly. I used to do, but I don't watch Strictly anymore. So let's just get these on. Small happy birthday verse, stamp the others to death. I know, Susan, but I've done so many verses. I only really do them every maybe year or every couple of years. I have done quite a lot of birthday verses. We've done the big verses, we've done the small verses. Oh, I missed another bit. Come on, Phil. That's because I'm trying to... This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm looking and not crafting. That's the emergency services. Hey, we've not had the ice cream van today, have we? How rude. And what if I fancied an ice cream today and he's not there? I don't watch that either, Chrissy. We get all our TV shows from you guys. Oh, bless you. Love these borders. A great idea to swap the covers for your designs. Oh, you mean the colour? You mean the colour of the packaging? Yeah, well, I've done that for the last couple of releases. And I have got the storage coming for you. Not till next year, but it's coming. Look how fab that looks. Isn't that stamp just fabulous? Love that. Super Starburst. Loved it when I did it, and I still love it now. Right, unfortunately, you know what's going on here. I will read back all the comments later when I have a coffee. A warm coffee. Because this one's cold now. Yep, storage is sorted. It is too cold for ice cream. Patricia says she'd be swearing. I probably would be if I wasn't live with you guys. Yeah, stop watching Strictly. Stop. I don't watch I'm a Celebrity. I'm not really into reality. I do like The Voice, but that's finished now. That's one roll gone. Marvellous. Sadly, I've got 4 more there. I'm going to finish this card properly though, so I'm not going to rush it, because it's a good mojo booster, this card. Mr. M, you need an assistant to put the horrible foam tape on. Yeah, I do. It's my worst nightmare. And it's because I use so much of it. If I didn't use a lot, it wouldn't matter, would it? Right. Here we go. We're starting again. So a little tip for you, everybody. When I was doing the measurements for this card, I've purposefully gone in at proper sizes, if that makes sense. So the rectangle dies, for example, don't fit properly, which is why I've done this by hand. So you can see here, look, that rectangle fits perfectly in there. So let's get these on. I'll do the which has got the most embossing powder on. This one. So this is going at the top. So just going back to the workshops, the online workshops. So when I did the craftathon a few weeks ago in the shop, so I'm asking you all if this is something you'd be interested in. So when I did the craftathon a few weeks ago in the shop, I asked the ladies that were at the workshop if there was anything specific they would want to do on an online workshop. And a few people have mentioned colouring to me. Yeah, one roll gone, but there's about, I think there's more than that, Lee, more than 50. So does the idea of an online colouring workshop appeal to you? So we could maybe do rather than making cards, actually just teaching you how to use the alcohol pens and how to use the watercolour pens. If that's something that appeals to you, let me know and I will try and plan that. Is that in the middle? I will try and plan that for you for next year. Is that in the middle? It is, I think. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's the top one. Online colouring, yes please, yes please, yes please. Your cards are very solid with the amount of card stock. I don't use as much as you. Yours are definitely mantelpiece cards. Oh, thank you. Ah, so there's a lot of you saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right, somebody remind me then over the weekend and I'll try and find a date. So rather than making cards, would you be happy with just having a few different images to colour? So maybe a couple of images with the alcohol pens and a couple of images with the watercolour pens, so I can teach you about shading and stuff. That's interesting because a lot of the ladies at the craftathon said the same thing. Rose's alcohol pens are still sitting in the box. Do you know why, Rose? It's because you don't colour characters in. We all think that alcohol pens are just for characters and people, but they're not. You can use your alcohol pens to colour flowers in as well. There you are, look, so you can see where we're going with this. Yeah. So we'll start at the top and work our way around. Yeah, yes. Right, there you go. That's that's the next online workshop sorted. I'll probably do it separately to the proper online workshop, but I will do something for you. So let's get this on. So we're now breaking up that background topper look. Just make sure this is straight. And this is why I love the circles. How fabulous is that, look? We've broken up that beautiful background, but how fab does that look on a tall card? So that is the topper, and this is the stopper. Oh, I'm gonna... So this is the stopper, but it's a bit smaller, look. It's your birthday today, and it's your 30th. Like you needed reminding. I'm just get rid of this stuff that just sticks to everything. It's all my shirt sleeves. I bought the whole set and I've only opened one box. You couldn't get the hang of it. Oh, bless you. Right, that's what we'll do then. Don't really know how to use them, so a great idea, June's saying. Yes to the watercolouring workshop. Right, okay. I'm going to sort it for you. I'm going to sort it for you. That'll teach you to knit. Why you're watching me, it's gone horribly wrong. And that, oh, Linda's unpicking and knitting. So from, right, okay, I'm going to do that for you then. I'm going to plan... I'll plan an online workshop just with colouring and try and find a few different images. So the kit will probably just consist of all the stamped images, but I'll make it cheaper for you. Look how good I am. Glitter. So I've got to glitter this now before I get the flowers. But we are on the last leg now. So for everybody looking at the clock thinking, oh my God, it's been nearly 2 hours, we are nearly done. And I'm going on the inside of that top piece. So I'm trying to avoid the distress ink, apart from that bit there. Only on the top and bottom. So normally, as you know, I would probably have glittered that and left it to dry to one side before I stuck it all together. But you don't all want to be waiting. Oh, decisions, decisions. I'm going to do the bottom one. So remember, the wet glue will react with the distress ink that's underneath it. So when this is dried, we will end up with a lovely fossilized amber glittery ring. I'm not going to glitter the bottom because I want to get the card finished, and I'll glitter the bottom later once the flowers have set. But if I do the top, it just gives you an idea of what the finished result will be. Oops. I love the Diamond Dazzle with the orange and lemon colours. It looks really pretty. So now let's pop that on there. This is why I can't glitter the bottom, look. I'll just show you. So can you see, look, instead of it being a normal, you can actually, this section here, so the section that comes underneath is actually the bit that I would write on. Oops. So let's get the flowers and see where we're at. I've got my foliage there. I'm just going to grab the flowers, everybody. They are just about dry. Just about. So I'll pop them on and hope for the best. I can't wait for you to see these. Shaping them as I pick them up. Right, here we go. The fun part. So let's just show you these flowers, look. So by inking them the way we've done, this is actually the best example to show you. The colour's stronger at the top. It gets weaker towards the centre of the flower. And then the glitter, look, because the ink has gone underneath the glue and the glitter, it's changed the glitter because it's Diamond Dazzle. It looks now that we've used lemon glitter. Obviously I haven't, I've just used Diamond Dazzle. So let's get this card put together. So for the foliage, we've got here and I'm going to show you because it's one that I'm using a lot again. So that's the Shabby Butterflies, remember. Link is in the description. And then the foliage that I've used, oops, is, if I can catch it, the Lush Leaves, look. And the Lush Leaves, if you remember, it's one of the first ones I did. And if you look at what I've done to this one here, I don't know whether you can, let me see if I can show you. I've pinched it again at the tips. So you change the look of it and it looks almost like new leaves, unfurling. I love the Lush Leaves, I just love it. It's definitely a must-have set of foliage. Yeah, it's very delicate and dainty. So if you haven't got Lush Leaves, get it on your wish list. And just by pinching the tips the same as I did the flowers, it gives you a different look. And as you know, I always have two different types of foliage. Always two different types of foliage. And it's the floaty fronds. So we've got Lush Leaves and floaty fronds. And now we'll get this card put together. So the big flower is for this corner. They're still a little bit damp, so I would normally leave them a bit longer. Let me just pinch this one together again. Some of these flowers are still a little bit damp. I guess it's obviously because I use so much water. So I would normally leave them to dry properly. Not too bad, I'll probably get away with it. Just flick back over to everybody on this page. Yeah, everybody's saying they want a colouring workshop, so that's what we'll be doing. No worries, David. Phil, did I tell you I'm 30? Do you want my address? Bless you. So I'm just gently pinching some of these back together because they've come a bit undone with the water. I won't do them all because we'll be here forever, but you get the gist. Right, here we go. Glue gel, cocktail stick. I've got to pinch this one as well. It's only the bigger ones that have come unfurled, which is strange. Still quite damp, that's why. They look lovely. Yeah, that's it. Just making sure I'm using the right ones. So I've got about 10 minutes to go, so not too long. So let's get this card put together. I'm going to come just there. And then the lush leaves are coming on next. So what I've done with these is I've got two that I know I'm going to use as full. So there are two that I'm using that are full length. And then the others are going to be chopped down. So as ever, we've got one that's higher than the others. Lush leaves first, and then the fronds can go at the side. We must have been here forever because my stomach's rumbling. So for the bottom, for the bottom, for the top, for the top, and for the top. These are for the top. Nearly done. So this shape is actually what I was trying to do on my last demo on Create and Craft on Monday. But clearly it was never going to get finished. And it was a lot simpler. It was a lot simpler than this one is. That's it. Just trying to make it match. That's it. And then on the leaves again, I've got some that I've made shorter. And they're going underneath here. And then another one facing in. We are on the last leg. But these are the details, and you know what I say about details. I won't be long now. I will poke about with these flowers once they've dried properly. And then just put the fronds on. Oh, thank you. We'll have to watch end when I get back, Phil. Thanks for the demo on Laos. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Chrissy. So we're just going to have the fronds in 2 places. Facing in the opposite direction to the lush leaves. Flowers at the bottom, and you know they're going to be in the opposite direction. I am nearly done, everybody, I promise you. And then you need to go and get those borders and the milestone birthdays stamps. So I've just got a smaller version for the flowers for the bottom half. And they're going in the opposite corner, look. Oops. That was my stomach rumbling. But it's no wonder we've been here for hours. Hey, I tell you what though, it's a demo from start to finish. It's not just sat talking crap. Although some crap may have been spoken, but you get the idea. Right, so the butterflies are a little bit damp still, so I'll just put, let me see which is the driest. Look how beautiful they look. Doing the ink that way, look. Isn't that just beautiful? So let's just see which is the driest, and it's this one. So we are having 2 butterflies on, but I don't know whether I'll get them both on. I don't make cards that you can buy in a shop. There's absolutely no point. Oh, I'm tormenting myself now. My instinct is there, so that's where I'm going. Right, so I'm just going to put a couple of the smaller flowers on. I'm not going to be able to finish the bottom because on the bottom I've got some more flowers to go up the top end. But I can't do that until the top part is dried and they're all set. But what I can do is open this up and do my little flower on flower thing. So that butterfly is going to go there. So we've got 2 butterflies going on. And then there are 3 flowers for up here. In fact, I will put them on. No, I won't. I'm going to wait. Because I don't want to spoil it. So these little flower on flowers are going here on the big flowers. A Phill flower tower. And we are nearly done. Then I'll do a little close-up for you before I clear off. We are done. I'm going to pop these on because I can. Oops. So these are for up here, so don't neglect the inside. Done. Just got 2 more things to do. And we are done. And I'll try and show you this without battering it. And I don't know how I'll take a photograph tomorrow to show you all that, but I will do my best. It's really difficult taking photos of easel cards. Right, so let's try and show you this card properly. I can't get it all on the shot, but that is the top. I'm going to put some gems on this, but I'll do it when you've all gone. So that is the top, and that is the inside. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And that is the bottom, look. So we've got matching top and bottom. I've just got to glitter. Just got to glitter the bottom layers and put a few extra bits of foliage in, but I'll do those after we've done. But how fabulous is that card? Is that not just something special? Yeah, my glittery ring. I've got my glittery ring on my flowers, don't you worry. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm trying to see the best way for me to show you, but I can't lift it up too much. So the easel mechanism is just reversed, and that section there is where I would mat and layer, and that's where I would put my verse or write my greeting. And there we go. So something different for you again. That would look amazing as a Christmas card as well. So remember, everybody, get your birthdays, your milestone birthday stamps, because it's a limited edition and I won't be getting them again. So make sure you've got... Oops, I've just dropped my phone. I'm trying to find them, but I don't know where I put the packet. Here it is. So what you need to be getting is the essential sentiments. We have no individual stock. And I've used the milestone birthdays. In fact, everything on there, all the sentiment and the number is from the milestone birthdays. So you need to be getting those. Yeah. And then the corners and the swirls. You can just see the details if I do that. So the swirls and the flourishes are from the border stamps, and the corners are obviously in the corners. Yeah. So we've got 3 sets of stamps, 1 absolutely fabulous card. Would it be easy to size down? Yeah, absolutely, Wendy. So Wendy's just asking me if it would be easy to size that down. This is not actually as big as you think, because that is A5. That's just an A5 size. But you could do that any size. So if you've already got a 6x6 card blank, for example, you can do it from a 6x6 card blank. Michelle says, thanks for a 30th birthday card. I'm just 27 years too late. So make sure you get the milestone birthday stamps and the borders and corners before they sell out. I just know what's going to happen. They're going to be gone and you won't be able to get them. So I'll finish titivating this later, and I'll try my best to get a decent photo for you, and I'll pop the photo in the Facebook page tomorrow. So just a quick reminder for those of you that are computer savvy, if you want to follow me on Instagram, look at this, scan that code with your phone and then you'll be able to follow me on Instagram. Look at that. And also you can get me on Twitter by scanning that code. Isn't that clever? And for everybody else, please remember to like and share for me. Like the post and share it for me so loads of people see it. You can ask to join our lovely Facebook group, but you do need to ask to join and accept my rules. So just search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours and ask to join my group. The YouTube channel is called the same thing, so I would appreciate you subscribing over there if you can. Thank you very much. And everything I've used, apart from what's sold out, is available on my website, honeypotcrafts.co.uk. If you do want to try and find me on Instagram, Phill M. Martin, really easy. And the same on Twitter, Phill M. Martin. And obviously you're already on my Facebook page. So somebody's just asked me what the background stamp was called. And it's this one. It's called Super Starburst. Super Starburst. It's one of the rubber background stamps. There are links to everything, the main things that I've used today, in the description for the video. But you can find everything on the website anyway. So I'm going to stop faffing, or I'm not. I'm going to carry on faffing when it's dried. And I shall let you all get on with your weekend now. So thank you very much, everybody, for staying for 2 hours and 13 minutes. But look at that little beauty. That's not something you see in a card shop, and it's certainly not something you see everybody demonstrating. So that's all I'm saying. So thanks, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. And I shall catch up with you. Don't forget there's a new video going on YouTube tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you're subscribed, and I shall chat to you all on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page or in our lovely little crafters group. So thanks, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.